Hello world, it's your girl Chrissy Pips. This is not a typical video for today. This is to help out the lovely teachers and staff and students that will be utilizing Zoom going forward for classroom activities. So I just wanted to go over a few of the buttons and things that might be most useful to our teachers just to help them get acclimated and make sure that they're able to accurately manage the Zoom meetings so that they can actually get work done. So, as always, if you're here, you're interested, so let's get into it. Now, first things first, you start off once you've created your Zoom account. You can use a free account or you can use the paid account. It doesn't matter which one. Just if you use the free account, I think your meetings are limited to 45 minutes. Okay? But first things first, once you get logged in, you go ahead and click on New Meeting. It's going to open up a brand new box for you. And usually the first thing that happens when you log in is you get this box telling you to choose one of the audio preferences or configurations here. So you always want to pick the one that best suits your setup. So I have a mic and things like that connected to my computer. So join with computer audio and it automatically has like my mic and my recording device all in one. Now, once you're in, you get this little dialog box. Okay, so first things first, once you've chosen your audio, the first button that we're going to start here is on the left. It's the mute button. Just toggle it on and off to mute and unmute yourself. You are muted when you see the little line crossing the mic. You are unmuted when there is no line. Okay? Now, next button is going to be Start Video. This is how you turn on and off your camera. There are settings options here for each of these buttons. I don't really mess with these because they're set according to the devices that I automatically have plugged in, so they're okay. Next, move over to the third button that says Security. You can lock the meeting, enable a waiting room. I do suggest enabling the waiting room. I typically arrive to any meetings that I'm doing about 10 minutes in advance so that I can change the settings just to make sure that the settings are accurate for whatever the meeting is about and my audience that will be a part of the meeting. Let's see. Allow participants to share screen, chat, rename themselves. I turned off some of these features, okay? Because typically in the classroom environment, the kids aren't going to need to share their screens. So I do suggest turning that off, renaming themselves, turn that off as well, because people just play with the button. And you can lock the meeting. If I do have like a set time, I will lock my meeting after 30 minutes. It's usually when my meetings are an hour long or more. I do typically lock the meeting after the first 30 minutes because we do a lot of fluff and things at the beginning, intros and things like that. But after that, we get into the meat and potatoes of things, and I don't really want to be interrupted because I do give out the recordings for the videos that I do. Next button is going to be Manage Participants. I highly recommend arriving at your meeting early and clicking this button first. It's going to pop out a little window over here on the right hand side. When it pops out this window, you will see yourself as the first participant. Then you have at the very bottom an invite button. It lets you pop up a little box here. You can click copy URL and it lets you copy it, so you can copy and paste it into message boards and things like that for your invitation. Mute all I suggest, because as soon as people enter, you want them to be muted. Unmute all you can at the end of your meeting. The fourth little button here at the end with the three dots is going to be some very, 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 very key buttons that you will need to go ahead and choose your settings for before your meeting start. That is my recommendation, especially with kids being involved. So, mute participants on entry. Click it, okay? And then you get this little box that pops up that tells you all the new participants will be muted. Allow participants to unmute themselves. Please uncheck that box, okay? And the next few options that are here are allow participants to unmute themselves, rename themselves. Like I said, turn those off. So you want to turn those off just by unchecking them. Play entry and exit chime. I do recommend doing that so you can kind of monitor who's entering and exiting without having to pay that much attention to it. Enable waiting room. What that means is at the top above your name, you're going to see a waiting room when new people pop in, and it gives you the option to allow them access to the room. I do recommend doing that just so that you can kind of control who is allowed in your Zoom meetings. And then lock meeting, that is how, of course, it doesn't matter if anybody has a link or not. If you lock the meeting, once the meeting is locked, they can't get in, okay? But yeah, and you can send out a password so that they can have access, which shows up on the middle screen here. The next button that pops up is chat. That's here. This is where your chat messages will be. If you want to give the kids like the ability to answer any questions and things like that, just have them type it in the chat. You can click on the little three dots here and you can choose the settings for the chat boxes as well. Again, these are settings which I highly recommend doing if you are teachers who are going to be using Zoom as a form of a digital classroom. You want to check these settings at the very beginning. You can do this before your meeting starts. Now the next button is going to be share screen. Share screen, you get a dialog box that pops up. This dialog box gives you the option to choose, like if you have multiple monitors, choose that monitor. It gives you a whiteboard, any applications that you have open so that you can share just that part of your screen only. But I would recommend going up here to the top and clicking on advanced. Now, this portion of screen button is my absolute favorite. When I do PowerPoint presentations and things like that, I can keep all of my like PowerPoint slides on the left hand side of my screen and just show the PowerPoint by selecting that part of the screen using this tool. It makes it easy for me to flip back and forth between slides, especially if there's slides that I don't want to go to immediately, or if I need to jump back a few slides to reiterate a point. So I do definitely love this button from the advanced section at the top. All you do is select it and then hit share. What you're going to see is a green box around the edge of your screen. And what that does is it lets you click and drag it around so that you can see like what portion of the screen that you want to share. You can click and drag the edges of this box as well to resize it. So that might be something that comes in handy. And then at the top, there's a little box here. Let me move this down into the screen. But it gives you the option to unmute and things like that. Stop sharing, manage participants, new share, or pause your share. Like say for instance, you want to pause on the screen that you're on, but maybe move over to a different application to get it ready. You can do that from this screen as well. The more button is going to give you some recording options, as well as this is called the floating meeting controls. You can hide those and things like that. So I do suggest playing around in the menu buttons or with the menu buttons once you get into the Zoom application. So let's stop share. The next button is going to be record. Gives you record to the computer or the cloud. Go ahead and choose computer and have it stored on your device, as if you have room, I guess. But that is my favorite option. It's always easy to find. I just created a folder on my desktop, so I always know where my Zoom recordings are. Our last button here is going to be end meeting, and that just gives you this little dialog box. To keep this meeting running, please assign a host. You can say, for instance, you're tag teaming with another teacher, you have other duties and things to take care of, but you want to leave the rest of the Zoom call for someone else to finish their part. You can assign somebody who's a participant as a host, and then you can leave the meeting and the meeting will continue on. Also, it helps your recording, so your recording will continue on. You can end the meeting for all, which kicks everybody out, especially if you're using the static Zoom links, or just leave the meeting. And they always ask for feedback. If you click end the meeting for all, it just takes you back to your Zoom page where you. Okay, and before we end the recording today, I did want to let all of my AYE and LKA teachers, staff, students, and parents know that we, the PTO, have put together Telegram channels for each of the schools. So Telegram is a free app that can be downloaded on Apple, Android, and desktop and laptop computers. I prefer to use the desktop version because it gives you the most flexibility in using it. But we've put these channels together to get you guys the most up-to-date and current information as soon as we get it. Please keep in mind that we are only posting the things that we get. So if you're missing something from a teacher, that means we didn't get it, okay? But Telegram is free. All you do is download the app. And once you download it, the first thing that it does is has you create an account. When you create the account, it's free. Use of this app is free. So go ahead and download it so that you can stay up to date. For AYE specifically, what we have done is all of the information for the food pickup, the websites that were suggested by teachers, just some activities for the kids. Also, Principal Aferi sent us over math and reading for every grade level for AYE. Those were the first sets of packets that went out. So everything up to 5th grade math and reading. And as we get more information, we will continue to post things here on the Telegram channel. A link for the AYE channel will be below. For middle school, for LKA middle, we did the same thing. So every single packet that I was able to pick up, I literally scanned every page and got them put on here with the help of the president of PTO, Miss Cook. But we tried to get as much information as possible up as fast as we could so that for those parents who were unable to get out and get the packets, you had an option to get them as a digital version. I did upload PDFs for everyone. You can click on the PDFs here for AYE, LKA middle, and LKA high. You can click on all of the PDFs and you can download them right to your phone, tablets, cell phones, desktop computers. Anything that you have that you're accessing this on, you can download it too. That way your kid is staying up to date with the information that's being given out by the teachers. But again, remember, if we don't get it from a teacher, we can't post it. So it's very imperative that you guys are sharing this information with one another, okay? And I might actually do this in 2 separate videos. And then I have one for LKA high as well. I have 9th and 10th grade. The work that I got from 9th and 10th grade. Everything is posted there. As we get more information, we will continue to go ahead and keep you guys up to date with the information by posting it here. So there will be links in the description below. I will actually add this one as a separate video just in case you want to share just this part with any other, like I said, teachers, students, parents that may not know that this information is available and may not know, especially the teachers, that they can reach out to the PTO. Our email will be linked below as well, to go ahead and send us PDF copies of your lesson plans and things like that for your grade levels, and we'll upload it here for you. But that's going to bring this video to a close. As always, like if you enjoy the content in this video, subscribe so that you don't miss out on what's next, and comment below so that I can hear your thoughts and share on social media if you think others can benefit from this information. But I hope you guys are having an awesome and productive day, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.